first thing I want you to do is think of your favorite games. Now, are they the highest rated games or not? This is the first thing you need to do before proceeding. Better Metacritic does not mean a better game. You may be sitting there thinking, no! You cannot argue with factual number evidence. But here I am arguing it, and here is why. Metacritic is based off of taking reviews around the World Wide Web and averaging them into a complete score. The original reason for Metacritic was probably meant for finding good games, music, and movies based off of an average opinion. However, over time as Metacritic got more popular, along with the internet, this site that was intended for good purposes became console war ammunition. Old versus the new. First, let's take a look at older games like Gran Turismo, Halo, and Zelda Ocarina of Time. I see many people considering that these are some of the best games of all time, and while this is true, it is more true because they were the best of their time. In reality, if you face off these games with today's games, then they are no longer the best games. Even games like Rise, Son of Rome, and Knack, if reviewed in the year of 2000, would likely have received 90 plus Metacritic. Halo vs. Halo 4. When I played Halo Combat Evolved in 2002, I was blown away by the universe, the artificial intelligence, and the story. Then a decade later, as 343 Industries released Halo Anniversary, I was brought back to reality that there is huge flaws in this game for a 2011 game. It was still great, but when I compared it to Halo 4 is vastly superior in every way, as it should be, released in the year of 2012. However, the Metacritic says otherwise, with Halo 4 sitting at an 87 and Halo Combat Evolved sitting at a 97. So what happened here? Was it that Halo 4 is the worst game out of the two? No, it is actually better in every possible way, but Halo was considered the best of its time. Whereas Halo 4 now has competition with games such as Call of Duty, Battlefield, and Killzone. Gran Turismo vs. Forza Ammunition. Now let's look at Gran Turismo. This is the one that I hear about the most as ammunition. Anytime a Forza and Gran Turismo game is released, what happens? Forza vs. Gran Turismo arguments appear, and instead of enjoying the game, we have people fighting over who has the best Metacritic score. Tell me, have you ever heard a conversation like this? Forza 4 is rated 90, so it must be the best racer. No, Gran Turismo is the definitive racer because it has a 96 in 1996. Come on guys, are you for real? Gran Turismo 5 may be rated 84, but it is better than the original Gran Turismo for PlayStation in every possible way, and the same applies with Forza. It just has a lower score for various reasons, as I will continue to talk about in a bit. Once again, it is not because Gran Turismo 5 is worse than Gran Turismo, but Gran Turismo was the best of its time. But let's not compare a 1996 game to a game made in 2011. Less reviews versus more reviews. How many times have we heard that Zelda Ocarina of Time is the best game of all time because of it has a 99 Metacritic? Does people also leave out that little tidbit that it only has 22 reviews? Oh, how about Gran Turismo only having 16 reviews? Compare that with today's games that can manage to get anywhere from 50 to 100 reviews on any specific game. The truth of the matter is that one review could hurt any of these old games' overall scores. This goes to all old games. The internet along with online reviews were just not as popular as they are today. Propaganda reviews, troll reviews. These two types of reviews go side by side. Propaganda reviews would otherwise be known as making one console or one game look better than the other. We all know it happens, but to what degree is unknown. Reviewers may like games, but we can guarantee you that there are some reviewers who are fanboys of one console or the other. This means that many first-party games could be unfairly reviewed, whether it is positive or negative. Don't be so paranoid though, as I doubt it is a huge occurrence, but yes, it does indeed exist. Troll and clickbait reviews has become more and more popular over the last few years. It has been heavily scrutinized that Metacritic has even accepted sites such as Quarter to 3, who has given out infamous reviews such as Halo 4 getting a 2 out of 10, Journey a 2 out of 10, and many other well-known games that got well below average scores. Now, why would you do such a thing? Really, it's simple. These websites get money each time you click to read their review. When you review a popular game and give it a low score, it will garner attention. Negative or positive, they get money for this. Otherwise, Quarter to 3 would never have even been heard of. Maybe he genuinely did not like the game though. That's true. There is that possibility, but did those games really deserve those scores? Reviews are supposed to be honest and informing. They are for the readers and are not supposed to benefit your own needs. Even if these reviews were true to his emotions, they are not informative to the everyday reader. Hype, fear, confirmation bias. This one explains that reviewers will oftentimes buy into the hype, the fear, and confirming their reviews before even playing it. Once again, this does not occur with every reviewer, but have you ever been so hyped for a game that you refuse to acknowledge its flaws? Then months later, you're like, yeah, it had flaws. This sort of thing happens. It is simple psychology. Fear plays a role as well. Take games that are insanely popular and reviewers will have a harder time criticizing them due to the flack they receive from fans. Surely you have seen the threats that gamers make on critics if they don't get the score they want them to without even playing the game themselves, I might add. Once again, even the fans create a score in their head before even playing it based off of hype. Some reviewers have expectations to give their fans what they want, and with console wars it has become harder on them in numerous ways. Franchise fatigue. This one seems to be another one that people ignores, which also follows simple psychology. As I mentioned earlier with Gran Turismo and Halo, when they first came out, people were blown away. We will call this the wow factor. Then Halo 2 comes out. It no longer has that wow factor. So it gets a lower score, even though it is a better game all around. The same goes for the next game and so on. Without that element of surprise, there becomes no incentive to raise the score. You may still enjoy it, but nothing will match the first time you played it. We call this nostalgia. As I mentioned earlier with Halo Combat Evolved and Anniversary didn't reach the same pivotal moment for me as when I first played Combat Evolved. The same applies to any game, including Zelda and Gran Turismo. No updated reviews. This one I will only talk about shortly, but now that we have DLC and active updates, at any given time, the game you were playing in a few months after release will not be the same as they were when you first bought them. Let's look at a game like Gran Turismo 5 as an example. Now tell me, was Gran Turismo 5 a better game when it came out, or was it a year later? See, updates fix these problems, and DLC adds to the game even further, yet reviews do not update with them. This leaves misinformed readers months after release. So what is Metacritic good for if it cannot be used as what is the best? No, it cannot be used as the definitive best. Reviewing has changed over time and also has flaws within the system. What Metacritic does do right is help you find good games. This is what it should be used for, to find good products, not penis wars.